And as we continue our series on the best thing about the film festival, getting to know the filmmakers, joining me is Filip Remunda, right?
Yes, right.
You say
Correct.
it. You say it. You say it.
Filip Remunda. It's
Remunda.
Yeah,
right,
exactly.
right. And say your last name for me one more time.
My name is Vit Klusak.
Klusak. Very good.
Klusak.
Very good. And the name of the movie is CZECH PEACE. And we're delighted to have you here. We don't want you to be nervous. We talked about this before we went on. We want to know all about the movie so that everybody watching will say, I've got to see that movie. I've got to see it. So who wants to start? Tell me about the movie. What is it all about?
Hope.
It is a story of Star Wars, the Cold War, and the war on terror, which is taking place in a small Czech village, in one sentence.
Okay. You have to explain it a little bit more than that.
No, je to taky film o tom, že velká Amerika něco podniká a my v Čechách se třeseme, co zase tady vymysleli.
So it is also a film about the fact that there is a huge America which is planning something and we are threatened what is going on in America in our small Czech Republic.
Mm-hmm. And the fear of what?
Strach z čeho?
Tak my jsme, že jo, měli jsme tam ruské vojáky, takže si představujeme, že zase budeme muset podléhat jako další velmoci.
Well, so it was about the plan of George W. Bush to place a military base to the Czech Republic. And in fact, Czech government have chosen the place where previously Soviet military forces used to be located. So Soviet occupation of military base, there was an intention to replace for American military base. Under different circumstances, because now it was not about that they will just flew to Czech Republic by planes and occupy the country. This was the different because it was the topic, it was a question of negotiations between Czech and American governments and everything would be done under certain contract. But even though for some part of Czech society it was not acceptable, and I would say that it was the major part because about 70% of Czech population disagree with Czech government and with American government. They just didn't like to have any foreign soldiers on our territory.
No a důležité je, že se ukázalo, že Amerika nám vlastně lhala v těch důvodech, proč nám to chtěli
seriously important
věnovat.
Is that at the end we found out that all the informations which came from United States were misleading and that American government and Pentagon lied to Czech government and to Czech public because the explanation of the system was based on failed data. So they proposed to have military radar in Czech Republic, which will be later part of the missile defense program of United States. And they said that this radar has certain measures, certain data. And at the end, American experts who visit Prague, they uncovered the truth that these data were misleading. So
the bottom line is that this Czech village doesn't want the same thing to happen to them that has happened in the past. They want to be able to have a voice in who's in their village and who's in control, and most importantly, a voice, right?
Exactly,
okay.
Exactly. And it started the resistance. Again, this plan started at this village, but later on it took all the Czech Republic and it provoked response from the civil society and biggest civil society movement grew up in Czech Republic and we experienced demonstration on the streets, like 5,000 people sometimes taking the streets and protests against the plan.
No vlastně by se dá říct, že Bushovi se postavil starosta obce, která má kolik 100 obyvatel.
And our film, if we will totally simplify it, is about the mayor of the village, population of 80, who stood up against George W. Bush, and he did it, and he won the battle.
How did you get involved with the story? Why did you decide on this particular film?
We found that people are not calm about this plan and that there are demonstrations going on. And when George W. Bush was visiting Prague, there was a big demonstrations in Prague. And then Czech Ministry of Defense, she sang a song, and she dedicated this song to George W. Bush as a present. And the song was celebrating military base and radar.
A vzýval americkou vlajku, jako oslavoval americkou vlajku.
And was celebrating Star and Stripes, United States symbol.
Yes.
And the bizarre on this song was the fact that it is actually a cover version of a song which used to celebrate Yuri Gagarin flight to the space in the 60s. So we have had like kind of propaganda song celebrating Yuri Gagarin. Yuri, we are so glad, welcome, and we will reach the space as you did. And then a couple of years later, Czech Ministry of Defense did the song celebrating Star and Stripes and radar on the same melody, on the similar lyrics, but just a little bit changed. So it was bizarre. It was discussed in Czech parliament and in Czech medias, and it was one of the example of the bizarrity and absurdity of the story. So that provoked us to be interested in the story, and we wanted to learn more. So we visited the village and met the mayor, and we found him as an interesting character, and we wanted to be as close as possible to him, but also to people from Czech government. So the film portrays both parts of the conflict.
A českou podlézavost, to je důležité říct, českou podlézavost Americe. Že vlastně my vždycky znova a znova začneme se tvářit, že jako nemůžeme být sami za sebe. Tohle bych řekl.
Well, an important fact was that we found also Czech certain kind of servility to United States, which we experienced the same with the Soviet Union, that Czech communists, they used to be very servile to Moscow and to Russian communists. And when we are like free country, then there is United States, another big brother of ours, and we experience kind of servility to Washington from the side of Czech politicians. Which this song is only one of the example, showing it like in bizarre.
A já bych chtěl ještě říct, že Česká republika má stejný počet obyvatel jako New York, že jsme opravdu velmi malá země.
Well, we are a quite small country. The population of Czech Republic is 10 million, probably very similar like New York City.
Ale i když jsme malí, tak si myslím, že právě skrze ten film můžeme Americe nabídnout šanci, aby se sebe reflektovala v tom.
Although we are small country, we can offer to America some kind of self-reflection through our film.
Že není normální, že chce vlastně zasahovat na celém světě a ovládat a udávat, jakým způsobem by se jako zbytek světa měl chovat. Že to prostě není v pořádku.
That it is probably not right, that America's intention is to be spread in all of parts of the world and kind of dictate what is the democracy about and explaining what the governments and people should do in countries like Czech Republic, because Czech Republic is not only one country which is influenced by American military force and American foreign policy. We are again just small example of something what is more global.
Takže ten příběh toho radaru na tom by si Amerika mohla uvědomit, že ne vždycky může jakoby cokoliv provést bez jako jak to říct, jako že ty její kroky, já nevím, jak to formulovat. Víš, jak to myslím?
Having watched the film, one in America would experience that not every
všechno, co si zamane, takže jí neprojde, že prostě jako i tak malá země může být kritická k jejímu jednání.
Okay, so if one will watch our film, he would think about that not everything what America wants to do is okay for the people in foreign countries. And although in most of the times the American power is so strong that they will push all the politics they want, in some particular cases it is not possible what has happened in Czech Republic.
And that's what you want people to take away when they watch the film?
Yes.
Kind of?
Yes.
Kind of?
Because it is also about situation in Czech Republic and about the way how the democracy works.
Right.
And about the way how not only Czech democracy but in general so-called Western democracies work. and how important is the role of civil society, how important is that the citizens will be active and will be trying to understand the global political situation and will be taking part of it and will try to influence what just few people in like powerful position would do with the country. So it is not actually, it is not story only in between Czech Republic and America, but it is more universal story which would be interesting in all countries in the world.
The name of the film is CZECH Peace. I thank you for being here. We do appreciate it. And stay with us. We'll be back right after this.